own live stream and see what happens. I'm gonna pass this around here. What's up? I've never done this before. It's AlmightyArceus here, and I'm opening this up to see if I can hear and see myself, and I'm gonna try and prevent any feedback from happening. It's looking like it's not loading. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's actually working or not. But hello, hi, it's AlmightyArceus here. I legit have no idea whether or not this live stream is functioning. I don't know. So let's hope it is. Let's hope it's not super delayed. What's up, Cheery? Please let me know, is it delayed at all? I legit can't see my video. YouTube's not loading it. Am I delayed? Is there anything weird? Let me know before I kick this Q&A off, because I'd love to share this out to more people, but I want to make sure it's working before I do that. I don't want to preemptively do that and then they're like, oh, it's not working anymore, you know? So, hey, yeah, people are, wow, oh, shoot, there's like 8 people in here now. Is my video working, guys? I never do this. Can you guys see me? Like, I can't, there's no feedback. I'm using my phone. I'm so low budget still, and I shouldn't be at this point. So, if you can go ahead and share the link out, I'm gonna post this in the Megamix chat and just say like @ here, basically. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm using my privileges here. Come take part in a Megamix Q&A for 11K. All right, here we go. Hi. Hello, hello. Welcome in. My name's AlmightyArceus, and I have 11,000 subscribers on YouTube now. I missed the 10K boat, but I really, especially with Pokemon Legend Arceus and now a new Pokemon generation, I really want to jump in and start doing more regular content. So that's what's about to happen. As you can see, I'm in a brand new place. I have a brand new house, and so I'm ready to make some new content. I have a whole bunch of stuff in the works. I've hired a video editor to make sure that I release videos, because that's where most of my stuff gets caught, in editing, because it's so freaking long. And I'm 26 and I have a day job. So yeah, I'm more of a hobbyist, as you guys know. So yeah, this is gonna be a Q&A, AMA kind of thing. I have a few questions prepared to answer first. So I'm gonna go through and answer some of those. I did have a few folks tweet at me with a few questions. And so now I'm gonna check that, and I'm gonna check the chat actively for any, you know, possible Q&A stuff. I'm gonna post this link to Twitter too, and then we'll get started. So watch this live 11K Pokemon Day Q&A. AMA, yay. Okay, cool, I tweeted that out. So let's get started, shall we? I think we shall. Yes, indeed. So, hopefully it's not too noisy in the background. Let's jump on in, shall we? And I'll check chat periodically too. Hello to Blame Jujubs, Cheeries, and Sino, Chinchino, Chinchibino. I don't really know. What's up, Hanabi? And Mojo331 up here in the chat. And Sam commenting on the Raikou. Literally the best plush that I've ever bought. I don't really buy that many, but I saw this guy and I was just like, little good boy. You may also see my cat, my actual cat, roving around in the background. She loves to jump on here. So don't be alarmed if you do. With that, let's go ahead and jump into the questions, shall we? So, let's talk about YouTube first. Let's talk about YouTube before we jump into the Pokemon stuff. So, I've been on YouTube for, I think, 12 years now at this point. Mostly as a hobbyist. Here's my cat. And it's been a fun time. It's been fantastic. The first question I had for myself was, how have things changed since you started your YouTube channel? And I think that's a really great question, because when I started my YouTube channel back in 2010, Discord wasn't a thing. Instagram hadn't really picked up that much yet. And yeah, it was like new, social media was still just starting. And YouTube was well established at the time. It was definitely the forerunner. And I was in a forum with a whole bunch of other like Pokemon remixers and people who loved Pokemon music. And I started remixing because I went on my dad's laptop and I had wanted to make Pokemon remixes because of Poke Remix Studios and Cat33 Pokemon and Sonic Wave and all these other folks. So I jumped into the community, and that was what I like to refer to as the old guard. You got folks like the Guitar Hero, Daskus, M-Dash, who was known as Electric Mudkip at the time. And Durribbon, who is now Mewmore, was a part of this as well. So we were all part of the same little consortium of remixers on this little forum called Fan Made Pokemon, run by Superior Larkscene, who is still a Megamix participant. So even now, in fact, there's a lot of people who are still members of the Megamix, who have been a part of the Megamix. And it's been great to just see that blossom. That was something that was kind of born out of the origins of my own time on YouTube. So I started making remixes. I took a little bit of a break kind of like at the beginning of college, and then I jumped back into it with the Megamix project, essentially. And I've been making theories and remixes and Megamixes ever since. It's been over 5 years, which is mind-blowing. So lots of stuff has changed, and I feel very proud about how far this channel has come, especially as something that's more of a hobby for me. You know, I feel like I've never really like devoted my time exclusively to making YouTube videos. I do so much other stuff in real life that I really haven't made the time for it. And it's still really great, despite that, to have been able to build such a robust community of people who love the same thing. So yeah, I'm very grateful for all 11,000 of you. Hello. I don't usually talk to my subscribers as directly, so I'm grateful. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Okay, now we're going into some video categories. So I'm sure folks are curious, and I've wanted to kind of answer these questions for a little bit. What my favorite theory I've done is. I want to go through some of my favorite YouTube vids. Also, let me look at the comments here. Oh, shoot. Wow, we got, well, hello, True Green. What's up, Ron? How is it going? It's glad to see you here. It's the 11K celebration that should have been for the 10K, but I'm kind of glad I waited now that we have Scarlet and Violet revealed. And by the way, her name is Suki. It is an S on there. I know it might look a little reflective, but that is Suki, as in Suki from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love her so much. She's a sweetheart. So let's see who else is here. Jeremy Chamberlain. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Cool. Okay, so let's jump in. Favorite theory that I've done. I have to say, probably the favorite one I've ever done. And this is a tough one because I've done a lot of really good collaborations. Maybe I'll count those slightly separately. But I really like my video on the science of ultra wormholes. It was something that I just thought was really cool to like bridge my interest because I love space. And I was really fascinated at the ways in which Pokemon introduced such a direct wormhole mechanic, because they had been doing teleportation and time travel and stuff in the past, but there wasn't really anything to link it. And the concept of ultra space and ultra wormholes was just so cool to me. Like, I loved the fact that basically there's like this kind of central, that's their, you know, multiversal web for the Spider-Verse, right? Or like whatever they want to call it. It's their multiverse network. They created a canon for it. And so I was really fascinated to see how it paralleled actual science, Einstein, Rosen bridges, and like all of the wormhole science that we tend to have. I thought that was really cool. So I'd recommend you check it out. It worked off of what we knew about ultra wormholes at the time. Also, my cat is here. She may knock over my camera, so just letting you know preemptively. Yeah, I loved all the work that I did there, and I would recommend that you check that video out. Some of the stuff has since seemed to have somewhat come true, and I think some of it has like turned out to be false. I know that now we have time travel confirmed as a mechanism by which ultra wormholes are used. And I think we also basically, through Pokemon Legends Arceus, have confirmed that Arceus is truly the center of ultra space, which is what the Arceus is, the center of the ethereal plane. And I just wasted that on a live stream instead of a video. Just wait for my explanation on that one. I've been sitting on that one since Gen 7, I swear to God. Oh, people are skateboarding outside my house. I got a crazy hill out here, so. Yeah, it's just, Ron knows what I'm talking about. Ron knows exactly what I'm talking about, because I think Ron told me, or like it's in one of his videos about Arceus literally meaning the center of the ethereal plane. It was mentioned. I remember that, and I know that's inspired me. I'm like, wait a second. That means that like he's like the center of ultra space. Those are the 1,000 arms, right? So anyways, see, I have all these theories in me. I've been meaning to do this, guys, and I just haven't done it. I just haven't had time. So I promise I have time to do it now. Speaking of which, I think one of my favorite collaborations I've done is Who Runs the Pokemon Government. That was a video I sat on for generations and generations. And then Toby came to me with a similar, he wanted to do a Pokemon government conspiracy video. And I was like, this is a perfect time to put out my theory too. So we drilled down, and I love that video. It's got some funny little moments, and I always love working with Toby. Hopefully we can collab on a few Pokemon Legends Arceus videos and maybe some Scarlet and Violet videos. So there you go there. Let's see. Suki is best girl. Everyone knows. Yes, thank you. Indeed she is. Can't believe it's almost half a decade of my YouTube channel. Wow, congratulations, Cheery. Sinobin says, I don't know, Suki is great, but May, 100% for me. I had a whole debate. I'll talk about my cat for a second. Where is she nearby? Can I pick her up? Yes, she is! Ha ha! Ha ha, Suki, okay. So, she's gonna be so pissed at me for she was just looking in the window. She's definitely gonna jump away. And there you go. So Suki, originally, I hadn't settled on the name. She kind of has a little spotted pattern, which I found is somewhat rare for cats. So originally I wanted to call her Peppercorn, which was too much. So I started looking at herbs and just kind of sorting through. I'm like, oh, okay, so I like basil kind of, I had in my mind set for a while that I'd wanted to name a cat either Moscato or Risotto. And I didn't think either of them fit for her. So I was just kind of like, what am I gonna do? And then I arrived at the herb Assam, which is made for teas. And Assam made me think of Asami. So for a hot second, I was like, oh, Asami, that's great. And I love Avatar, I love Korra, so I'd love, that would be a great name for her. And then I was like, it's too regal. She's too spunky and sparky. So then I went for Suki because she was kind of scrappy. She's very energized at the time. I know she has more of a May sort of look now, but when she was a kitten, she was all over the place. I did consider May though, as well. So, but Suki was the one that stuck, and Suki's the one that hits. So there we are. Okay, so let's move on here. Kevin G says, I absolutely love your drip. Gives me a rock band vibe. Thank you. Appreciate it. I have been curating this look and growing my hair for a long time, so appreciate it. We got a question from Mickey here, which I'll address after we get to the Meg Mix stuff because we haven't got there yet. Cherry Cincino says, I've been planning on premiering a compilation of my music throughout the years. Ooh, very cool. Sounds kind of opportune at this point. I think you've been participating for a while, so I think that sounds like a great idea. Sinabin says, how does Celebi's time traveling coexist with Arceus? Okay, since we're in theory realm right now, I'll jump in on that one. How does Celebi's time traveling coexist with Arceus? Now, this is a question that needs to be answered. I think that not every Pokemon uses the Ultra Wormhole Network for their powers. So for example, I don't think that Celebi's time traveling is as a result of Ultra Wormholes. I think that it's separate. I think it's something that Celebi specifically has the ability to do, like that it's its gimmick, essentially, in the movie and in the event for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I think it has a separate power to do that. But I think generally, if we're talking about other Pokemon, for example, that open up wormholes, we're talking about like Bronzong, for example, which is very deeply tied to Sinnoh and Arceus and space-time distortions. I think it's utilizing basically its infinity energy in order to open up, wormholes to other dimensions, which has been mentioned multiple times. So that's my thoughts on that. Cool. Okay, moving on. Favorite remix that I've ever done. This one's a tough one. This one's a toss-up. Can I ask the audience first? Audience that's watching right now, hello Sonic Fan 4. Please tell me, what is your favorite remix that I've ever done? I would love to know. For me, I think I'm gonna have to separate it between lo-fi and non-lo-fi, because there's two worth mentioning, I think. I'm a big fan of my Lake Acuity remix when it comes to lo-fi. It's one of my favorite things in themes in Pokemon generally, and it was the last song that I finished on Lo-Fi Chillwave Volume 2, which was Hidden Gem. It's a beautiful theme, and I think I really struck gold with that remix because it was so meditative. I really think I captured like the spirit of it.
even though I really like the Pokemon Legends Arceus rendition, which is a lot more like, it sounds almost like Mew's theme from the first movie, you know, like where, you know, Mew comes out of the lake. Very similar sort of feeling on that one in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I really do like that. But I think my theme is very meditative. It literally uses meditation symbols and gongs in the background to create a basis. And the cool thing is most of those are tuned at like F sharp or G. So that really fit the key of the song, which is it alternates between like a B flat mode and an F major mode, right? So G sounds real sick in there. It's the 6th scale degree, and then it's the 2 in F major, so it sounds so great. I love that drone in the background. My favorite moment of the song is after the first bridge completes, and it goes into the little, my melodic portion that's like, like it's really flowy, right? And you have the flutes kind of panning back and forth as you have the fade, the low pass kind of come in and out, right? Amazing. I love that part. And there's a particular moment that was a happy accident, actually, I'd love to talk about. Part of my favorite moment of it, actually, the most serendipitous, she's getting freaked out with the skateboarders. One of my favorite moments. The bass cuts out the second time that little refrain repeats for one note. It cuts out the original B flat. Jeez, that is not. They're trying to grind on my fence. I wish you could see the material. That thing's gonna fall apart. Y'all, that thing's gonna fall apart. That's gonna break. That's totally gonna break, y'all. That's not grindable. I don't know about that shit. Anyways, wow, weird. So, back to what I was talking about. I really do like that tune, and I hope you do too. I hope you've checked it out. You know, it's funny, because I've been on YouTube for 12 years, and Spotify has already eclipsed my musical success on YouTube. Like, most of the songs that I have on there are past 100,000 streams at this point. So, it goes to show when you upload music to a music streaming platform, it tends to do better than a video streaming platform. That being said, the mega mixes are a massive success. Let me check up on these comment sections here over here. Let's see. Sinabin says, I enjoyed the Sword and Shield collab best. I use that one most in my stream background and ambiance. Oh, nice. The Gigantamax section of the gym fight just gets me excited. Yeah, very, very good. Oh, nice. Thanks, Kat. She just knocked over some water. Great. It is really hard to choose. I'm curious though, if you have a favorite lo-fi, let me know. But I have to say, there's one that I think it is unequivocally my best. And I think it's one that not a lot of people have heard necessarily. It's my remix of the Battle Pike theme from Pokemon Emerald. Very deep cut kind of theme. But it was always my favorite when I was a kid. It was Battle Pike Queen Lucy was the only person that I was able to defeat in Pokemon Emerald when I was like 10. Before that, I wasn't able to really accomplish anything. So my camera's gonna slip in a little bit. Didn't stop anything, did I? Cool. Okay, so yeah, it was the first one that I beat, the only one that I beat when I was a kid. And so because of the nature of her rooms where like you kind of, it's a gamble basically, like you might get poisoned in one, you might get healed in another, you might have to fight somebody in another one. You walk a lot. You just hear that background music incessantly, and it's kind of a taunt, right? It's like da 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 da. It's originally in 6/8. So I decided to do an electro swing version of that one, and for those who are in the Megamix, you know this theme because it's actually created a meme. And there's actually a question here from Chiri's Chinchino. What's the origin of Yoi? Which is basically our version of Pog for the Megamix at this point, since the dude who says Pog is like some kind of crazy alt-right person. We invented Yoi during the Halloween Megamix 2019, or you know, was it 19, 20? 20, I think. It has to be 2020 because I made that during the pandemic. Halloween Megamix 2020, my song premieres, that song, the Battle Pike remix, the Electro Swing remix. And somebody's like, they hear the Vocaloid that I use, the voice synth that I use, and they're like, oh, I love that Yoi sound in the background. That's Yoi-esque, right? And I was like, yo, That's a great little word. It's like pog kind of going yoy. I never really thought, but it just kind of sound like the voice is going like yoy, yoy, yoy. So I was like, hey, yoy in chat if you like the song, and it's stuck. So now it's a Megamix meme. It's used for excitement. It's used the same way that pog is used, essentially. So, but I love that song so much because I think it has the best production value out of any song I've ever done. It's definitely the most competently produced. It has a sick bass line, really fun trumpets, great solo sections. It's my favorite theme. It's the most contained and cohesive. I highly recommend you listen to it if you haven't heard it. So yeah, those would be my 2 fave mixes that I've made, and I hope you've listened to them. I'm gonna be there's a few that I haven't even put out that I released last year in the mega mixes that I haven't made videos for. Part of it is because I really want to perfect them a little bit. I wasn't super happy with them the way they came out in the mega mix, mostly because I've been working on a separate EP. But don't worry, there's tons of stuff coming, and I'll announce it at the end of today's video. So let's do favorite Pokemon song in general. That's a real tough one for me, but I wanted to ask it, and I don't think I've settled on a real answer. I think I'd have to go generation by generation, because obviously to be a Pokemon remixer, you have to love most of the music of the franchise. I'll say a recent fave. I really like the Diamond and Pearl clan music. It's kind of like a soft reference to Orberg. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure. And it makes sense because they're both ores, diamond and pearls. Well, pearl, I guess, isn't an ore. It's a Sanskrit. Weird. Anyways, yeah, so that's the dealio, Camilio. Yeah, it's a very good theme, and there may be a remix coming soon of it. So, let's see. Cherry Chinchino says, I'd like to know the origin of David Morse's feet. You should probably ask him, yeah. Sinabin says, started at the Pike remix now. I always shy from the vocal used track, but I do like this one. Yeah, you know, the funny thing is about that too, it's entirely synthetic. It's not me going yoy yoy or whatever, right? It's like, this is just it's actually a preset. Well, it's not a preset actually, it is a plugin that I used. This fun little Vocaloid. So, that was a fun little one to do. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, now I see. Now I see how it works. They're literally shaving it down. Cool. Okay, maybe it won't break. It didn't look like it would support their weight. Maybe they should lube it up. This is weird dramas out my window. I've never seen this happen before, specifically. You know, usually they have like, you know, people driving around taking photos out here. First time skaters, so interesting. So let's see. I think we've arrived at the Megamix questions. So maybe it's what you're all here for, I don't know. It's most of what my channel puts out these days. And I love the Megamix, of course. It's a premier project. It's something I'm very proud to have founded and created. And it's, you know, I would be remiss if I were to take even close to all the credit for everything that the Megamix is. You know, it's something that's hosted on my channel, but it's certainly come together because of all the wonderful, amazing people in the community that submit awesome remixes and great logos and art and background work and just everything. And there's so much that goes into each Megamix, and it's all possible because of the people who were a part of it. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you. I wouldn't be where I am without that project, so thank you. I do appreciate it. Yeah, so let's chat about it, I guess. I'm gonna do an interesting one. Favorite, least favorite, and underrated are the 3 that I'm gonna do. So we're gonna choose. I'm gonna break their ankle, I swear. I feel like a NIMBY right now. I'm not picky about this kind of thing. I'm like, oh yeah, do your thing, but like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting annoyed. Anyways, guys. Okay, so my favorite remix here, my favorite Megamix, I would say. I think, this is so tough. It's such a tough one. I think my favorite experience on the Megamix was probably the summer 2020 Megamix. It's one of my favorites for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of serendipitous moments in there. I think has it been dethroned? Have we broken 5 hours? I think we've broken 5 hours at this point, or at least gotten close. But like, that one was at the time the longest Megamix. I'm sorry, I'm blanking, but I'll probably remember if I look it up again. But it's just kind of amazing, you know? It's great. So yeah, I love the fact that the animation with Lugia in the beginning with the opening song by Shetty, which is a brilliant remix, by the way. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. The end portion syncs up with the 6-7 minute loop that Betimus Art Cafe made. And it is literally Lugia like swimming across. And it happens right when the piano flourish happens for the Pokemon World Tournament theme. It's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and there goes Lugia. And I'm like, perfect. Like, if somebody's watching this right now, like, that's the most seamless, I think. One of the most seamless intros that we've had. So I love that one a lot. And just the lead up to it, the fact that it was so record breaking, it came off the heels of the Lo-Fi Mega Mix 2020. It was just wonderful. I was such a big fan. So yeah. I don't know if it makes sense to do least favorite Mega Mix, but I feel like the least favorite's probably got to be the first one. But it also wasn't, you know, because it's like that one was the start of the project. It's not like I'd be like, oh, I hate it, but it's got the least amount of content. It's like 45 minutes. It's got one logo. You know, it's like it's not very flashy, but it's still got some good remixes in there. I returned to it. I have my they bounce. Oh no, I guess they're taking photos now. I took my Ends remix, my Ends Room remix was actually kind of the genesis of that idea. I was like, hey, like, maybe we should do a Halloween Mega Mix because everybody's always releasing Halloween tunes. What if we just like compile all of them onto one big thing and like have it be like a showcase? Because my whole thing was like, I want the community to have more support, you know? Like, I want it to be a place, a way that people who are just starting and people who are veterans can come together and build skills and collaborate and get to know each other. Because we have such a big and vast community, and I always think like being as inclusive, as inclusive as we can is like the best way to be. So that's what started this out. So yeah. Who's that Pokemon in front of you? Says Mojo331. Maybe you meant my cat, but this is Raikou right here, just in case you can't tell. Pokemon behind me is I don't know. Is there a skateboarding Pokemon? I don't know. I don't know if can you see them? That'd be pretty cool if you see like somebody like grinding by my window. Let's see what else we got over here. The background somehow sounds like when you put the pool balls in the triangle thing and move it around. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, basically what they're doing is they set up. Oh, I think this is literally like. I respect the bootleggedness of this. So there's been a table that's like sitting out here. So I think they're like a skate troupe or something. You know, they literally rolled up in like a van with like a camera or something. I'm sure they saw the table over here and they're like, oh, sick, this is a place to put in my compilation. So they grabbed the table, they put it at the corner of my railing, which I don't really care because this is my apartment, this is my landlord's, you know. So I'm like, all right, they're gonna get in trouble with them, not me. And they're grinding down the railing here. I think they bent one of the rails already. So, LOL. Yeah, they're lucky too, cause my landlords were just here, like literally 10-15 minutes ago. They might have been waiting for them to leave. So yeah. Anyways, sorry for the tangent. Do you ever plan on expanding beyond being a Mega Mix? I'm curious what you mean by that. Do you mean maybe like a network of different projects? We have started to expand into general Nintendo properties. We've done a Nintendo Lo-Fi and a Nintendo Winter Mega Mix, and both of those were pretty all-inclusive. Basically anything that's been released on a Nintendo system. Mostly Nintendo IP as well, but a few exceptions like Undertale and Stardew Valley and things like that. So yeah. I would love more clarification as to what you mean. I know you did ask a question also if there's going to be an alternate file hosting site. Nothing's been set up yet. I'm still doing the system of just buying download credits for Bandcamp. You just to be clear, you shouldn't be purchasing the Mega Mix. It's meant to be up there for free. It's just the easiest way that we have for hosting it. Any and all donations that are made stay within the project. They're just for like paying our artists or like, you know, buying more download credits. So just know that that's what happens when you buy a Mega Mix album. So they're meant to be free. If they aren't, you can always DM me, because what happens is we run out of download credits and then you know, Bandcamp, because they want to make money, sets everything to like $7 or something ridiculous. So anyways, just let me know and I always fix it. Okay, what else? Has there ever been a Megamix themed as synthwave out there? Signabin, great question. That has been tossed around as an idea in the past. Synthwave Megamix or even a Vaporwave Megamix. I think the reason we haven't gone genre specific is because for many of the folks in our project, it's a little bit limiting, particularly for folks who are new entrants as well. But I think that could be a fun little side project. You know, maybe there's a few folks that want to make like a jazz Pokemon album or something. And maybe this alludes more to what Mickey was asking, because that's more akin to something like OC Remix, Overclock Remixes, which has been around for a long time, since before I was even remixing. And they do group-based projects that are like, all right, we're doing a Sonic Jazz album. All right, we're doing a Final Fantasy album, you know? Like they go around different properties. It's specific artists. That's definitely a possibility. And I think that'd be really fun. Cool. Okay. What about Bandcamp? Bandcamp, that's where everything is. Everything's on Bandcamp. So that's what I've been using. Wish more creators used it. It is great, but I wish it's not even the creators. I think a lot of creators use it. I just wish it had a bigger usage from the general public. I feel like Bandcamp is where indie artists tend to sell a lot of merch and physical copies as well as stream their music. But it's not nearly as popular as like a Spotify or an Apple Music or even like a Google Play or an Amazon Music. You know, those are major corporations. Part of it, I think, is just the way that the interface works. I love that it pays artists as well as it does. And I really think that we need to improve that for artists. You know, Bandcamp shouldn't be as unknown as it is to the general public. I want it to be known by more people. So, yeah. Broom, broom. Outside. Very cool car, sir. I spoke way too soon. I hate that kind of thing. Nice. Okay. Most people are afraid to use Bandcamp because it asks for your postal code. Like, just put a fake. Really? I'm not really that afraid of this at this point. I live in a pretty exposed place. If you were determined enough, you might be able to find me, but please don't. Please don't. Oh my God, please don't. I'm not trying to Tony Stark myself in Iron Man 3 right now. Okay, so I did my favorite Megamix, and my least favorite. Now I want to do an underrated Megamix, and this one's an easy one. This is actually one of the ones that I really want to say. Pokemon Villains Megamix from this past year, 2021. It's awesome. Like, I swear to God, you'll have such a fun time with it. Watch the promo even. It's the best. It was so much fun. Pokemon Megamix Villains Takeover. It's oh my God. Like, the intro is really great. I think it's my favorite animation that we've got because it's like Goldenrod City, and we had a logo submitted by Aaron Wolf, which was the opening logo. And it appears on the front part of the building on like a giant like screen. So it's like it's being displayed to the population of Goldenrod City, and it says like Megamix Villains Take Over, and it's brilliant. It's so good. And then Betimus put all the villains on top of Goldenrod Radio Tower, right? And then each of them have their own little bubble vignettes that pops up, and there's Pokemon that fly around, and the color is Goldenrod. It's perfect. It's like the perfect background. And then the last song by Koppel, it's basically a Euro step, like a Slav step remix of the Lysander theme, and it's so good. It is like, dude, I'm like slob squatting like the whole video. It's awesome. It's like the best finale. And I also did some 3D effects, like I did the spinning like rocket logos, which was a big accomplishment for me. So yeah, and God, the come up to that was awesome. It's the only promo that I've done collaboration with some of the other Mega Mixers on. So we had the voice talents of Snivy and Dorian, Bright, and Jack Shelby as well on that, which was fantastic. Dorian was Jesse, and then we had Meowth as Snivies, and Jack Shelby was James, and the impressions are brilliant. Especially, I love the James impression that Jack is able to do. It's so good. So yeah, it was just so much fun. I love that one. Let's see. Banjo-Kazooie remixes vote +1. Okay. All right, I'll take that into consideration. Maybe some ukulele too. Was that as popular? I didn't play ukulele. Yeah, but Pokemon Village Mega Mix, I would very much recommend that. And that takes me to the end of my questions. I didn't want this live stream to be too long. So, opening the floor, AMA, I'm happy to have a conversation for another 10 minutes. But before I do, wow, nice voice crack. Before I do, this is, you can see what goes into my voice, like recordings and stuff. Before I do, I have one special announcement for you on Pokemon Day 2022. I really want, I'm sorry. We're not even close to done with the AMA. Psych! Because I haven't even talked about Pokemon at all, really that much. Let's see. I got a question first before we get there. Me trying to end this early. Oh my lord, what am I doing? Oh, that's sick. Okay, so now they're moving the ramp into the street. They're trying to dive bomb down the hill now, I think. All right, go for it, yo. Go for it, cool kids. I don't know, what if it's like a celebrity skater and I'm like totally a hater right now? I don't know. Anyways, so Street Thug JJ says, "Hey Almighty, big fan of the Mega Mixes you've done. My question is, which Mega Mix was the hardest to do?" I already know. It's the third most viewed Mega Mix, aka the Pokemon Summer Mega Mix 2018. That one is infamous in my mind. So Audio Flexion was doing visuals for the Summer Mega Mixes at the time. Or I think they go by Enter the Text in the, like now. I don't know. Anyways, they were making a vaporwave style visualizer, like a what do you call that? A grid style, kind of digital grid that moved forward. That's all it was. But there were effects on it, and it was made in After Effects. Thing was, they were working off a really old computer, like I was. I was working off a laptop at the time, so I had no power to really do anything fancy in After Effects. But this kid was like, I'm really into 3D rendering. He did the 2017, so that's the one with the Wingull and the 3D ocean that kind of goes on forever. He was like, I'm really into 3D effects. I really want to make this look good. And it looks really good. There is a moment, I'm sure people don't really notice this because it's got a lot of views, but from like 14 to 17 minutes, the background cuts out and it's just white with the logos. That was a rendering error. And it's amazing that that's the only error in the video file, considering it took an extra 2 weeks to put out. It took a whole week to render as it was. So the computer was just constantly working. It was like mining. I don't really know how mining Bitcoin works because I don't invest in any of that, crypto or anything. But I would imagine it took about as much effort because it was just like a week of just like straight rendering. It was the worst. I'm so glad I have like a good computer now. That's the reason I'm gonna start making content, by the way. The reason everything's been delayed is because I've been working off this laptop for years, right? I finally have a full-on iMac with great rendering, 2 terabytes of hard drive storage on it, in addition to the external hard drives that I use. Great RAM, great memory, great graphics, so I'm ready to go, basically. So, but up until this point, I've been asking multiple friends to do renders. It's been out of my hands. So my friend Ben has been rendering them for the past 2 years or so. And then I started rendering them at my parents' house, and now I render them on my own. Finally. It took me 5 years. Anyways, that one was infamously hard because the render just took forever, and it delayed. It's the only Mega Mix that's really been delayed more than a week. I think we pushed back some of the more recent ones just because of COVID. I work in public health, so like it's been a mess. So it took me a while to put out some of those videos, but that one was like delayed from like a June release to a July release. It was bad, but it paid off. I think we're close to 100,000 views on that one at this point, so I'm glad that it ended up working out and that you guys enjoyed it. It's a really good one. I would definitely recommend watching it. Okay, let's see. Sinabin says, I absolutely love the Villains Takeover remix, but there were some sound level issues that bothered me, where there was just a loud song thrown in that caught me off guard when I was in the zone. Yeah, I think actually that was brought to my attention. Part of that might have been because of the quality of the render itself. I think that was the first Mega Mix where it wasn't the first. We had to kind of stop using raw wave files, because the way we tend to do it is we'll take all the songs, put them in order, and make them one long sound file, so it's easy for the video program to render. Now, originally, we were able to do that and make it just an unedited, completely uncompressed file. But unfortunately now, because it's just so big, all the YouTube ones are compressed, just so you know. YouTube already does a lot of compression as it is, and unfortunately we have to compress them as well, just through rendering them out as like an MP3. So, because of that, I think that one had like a few audio issues that stuck out. We were also still at the time a little bit fast and loose on some of the standards. We're getting kind of tighter on them now that there's more and more people that contribute. But yeah, we didn't work as much on the leveling. So now it should be pretty even. But yes, the vibe does shift a lot. It is the villains Megamix, so it's less, you can't really settle into like a lo-fi or maybe like a wintry kind of sound, right? Like, you know, it's a grab bag of stuff. So, but it's still very good. Highly recommended. Street Thug JJ says, okay, me and my buddy were curious what happened there, but he loves the Halloween Megamix when I love the lo-fi Megamix. Halloween Megamix, love it. Probably my favorite Megamix intro actually is the one for the Halloween Megamix 2018, which has the Stranger Things mock-up that I made. And it also has like a little like pulse audio spectrum that starts up on at 710 hertz, I think is their current name, Ad Astra. They're fantastic, incredible symphonic composer. And that's probably my favorite rendition of the Viridian Forest theme overall. It's awesome. Sounds like a trailer cut. It's so good. Mickey says, if you knew how, would you have built a Hackintosh instead of an iMac? I considered it. Here's the deal, actually. It took me a year to decide what computer I was going to get, because initially I was thinking about taking the big step away from Apple. But the thing is, I really like Logic Pro as a production studio, and I've used it as a DAW for a while, and before that I was using GarageBand, so I'm just so used to the user interface that I decided instead I was going to continue to become an expert at Logic while getting a bunch of plugins. So I bought Native Instruments plugins. I got the full complete package. I got, a number of stuff from Isotope. I got a whole bunch of stuff from I'm forgetting my stuff now. Great. Scarlett, Audio Technica, Arturia, I don't know, you keep going. But so I decided to focus in on that instead. I did consider, especially because of the price point, it was not cheap. Apple got you. That's the whole thing. I was actually talking to a friend about this. I'm not happy with a lot of Apple's recent changes. But the thing is like my friend described it well. They built kind of a contained zoo, basically. They're containing their consumer base. That's their goal. They want to isolate them so that they can only buy Apple products because they've been using them for so long. And I feel like I'm kind of a victim of that a little bit. Most of my stuff is Apple. And, I know that it's cheaper to build a custom rig. I considered doing that. I was going to get something for like $1,500. And I changed my mind because I was like, I like my DAW. I like the user interface too much. So, yeah, I have nothing against PCs. I think they're fantastic. And I just kind of wish that I had learned to use them a little bit more. So, that's where I'm at. Street Thug JJ, my other question is, out of all 8 generations of Pokemon, what are your top 5 songs? Well, that segs us well. Let's talk about the Pokemon games. Let's talk about my favorite generation first. Sinnoh, easy. I'm living with Pokemon Legends Arceus, let me tell you. It's instantly my favorite game. And I don't know. I've always loved the Sinnoh, the Hisui region so much. The Pokemon are the best, the themes are the best, the locations are the best, the lore is the best. It's just the best all around. And people complain about, they nitpick. They're like, the surfing takes so long, or wow, it takes forever to knock out Blissey. How many times are you fighting Blissey in that game? Unless it's on purpose. Not much. So, I don't know. I had no problem. I had no real problem with that at all. Yeah. So that's my favorite gen. But of course, I think I have every single generation has gems in terms of songs. Each generation has songs that I really appreciate. And yeah, Sonic fans, right? They fix those issues in Platinum anyways. So, I mean, what can you say? But out of all 8 generations of Pokemon, my top 5 songs would probably be the Lake theme from Pokemon Diamond Pearl Platinum, the Distortion World theme from Pokemon Platinum, The Emerald Battle Frontier theme from Pokemon Emerald. Best battle theme ever. Like, they haven't topped it. And I wish that we had Oras Battle Frontier. I know they never will. The whole reason they don't, just so you know, by the way, is because Platinum and Emerald and Crystal, like all of the enhanced versions, are like the worst selling ones. They don't sell very well, which is why they stopped doing them. They don't do enhanced versions really anymore, except for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I guess that was the last one they did. And I guess they did DLC. They're gonna do DLC now. That's what it's gonna be. They don't really do. They're not doing the independent sort of thing. USUM, in my opinion, should have been DLC. By the way, it wasn't worth a whole new game. I have to be honest. Hot takes. Sun and Moon is way better. So those three. Hoenn is another place that has great music, and I'm tempted to pick another one from there, but I feel like I should represent some other ones. Dragon Spiral Tower from Unova. Incredible. Great theme. One of my favorites. Unova has some great themes, but this is the reason why Unova isn't my number one in terms of music. I don't like the sound fonts that much. I find them rather chaotic. And to me, it was the turning point where Pokemon moved from like less chaotic themes to more chaotic themes. Because now, especially the battle themes in most of their recent games, just sound like they just add so many elements, and I don't like that very much. I feel like they should kind of streamline it. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a great example of how they can do that. So, that's 4. God, I guess I'm gonna add 5. Pokemon Legends Arceus, Dialga Palkia battle, like the origin form fight. It's a Euro remix. Oh my god, that was so cool. Just Eurobeat remix of the like a legendary theme from Sinnoh. Oh my god, that's gonna be remixed by me very soon. Stay tuned to the end of this video to find out what it's part of. So, I love that. So fantastic. Okay, we got other questions in here. Have you ever considered making Buki and Suki meet? Buki is M-Dash's cat. What? Yo, what the heck? Wait, we gotta get M-Dash up in here. Go tweet at him. He has a cat named Buki? What? Suki and Buki? I call her Suki Buki like half the time. So, yes, they should meet. Oh my god, we're gonna have to do like a little live stream together. Suki, do you want to meet another cat? She's so social. She loves cats. She's obsessed. Like, she's gone to like 6 or 7 different like spots. I've taken her with me to like meet cats because I want her to be a social cat. She loves them. She just did a kickflip off the couch right there. She wants to go on walks and things. She's amazing. I love her. Let's see. Other questions. What is your favorite soccer team from Clarita Game Plays? You know, I'm not that big of a sports fan. Sorry, y'all. The sports that I play, the gym that I go to is Pokemon. But if I had to pick a soccer team, I don't know. I'm acting off of no knowledge. I live in LA. I guess Los Angeles Football Club, LA Galaxy. I don't know. I don't watch football, soccer, whatever. I also don't watch football, American football. Do you know the games of 9DH generation starters? Do you know the names of the 9th generation starters? Okay, I parsed that. Yes. Off the top of my head. They should be easy to remember because they're Spanish. Sprigatito, which I can call it. She's eating cardboard right now. That's her favorite meal. She just loves to chomp at the boxes. Sprigatito. Sprigatito. It sounds more Italian to me, but gatito is little cat in Spanish. And sprig. You have Fuecoco, so fuego, and cocodrilo, crocodile and fire. And then Quaxley, which I think is literally just English, because in Spanish and Portuguese, the sound for un pato, which is the name for a duck, is quay, quang, 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 quang. If you know Stan Getz, he has a song called El Pato, or Pato, whatever it is. And yeah, so I hope they incorporate pato into one of the. Oh, you know what it will be? It's probably like capato or something like that, like capatan or something, like capato tan, like something to do with like captain and duck and pato. I think together will probably happen either in the mid stage or probably the final stage. It's gonna be a captain. You know it's gonna be a sailing duck. You know it's gonna be literally Donald Duck. That's what it is, and it's cute. It's also literally Gansito as well, if you're aware of Gansito. Like all 3 of these starters to me just look like Spanish candy like cartoons. They look like those. Like it's amazing. I love them all. They're all fantastic. So, yeah. Sorry, spoilers. Sprigatito should be called Sprimiao. Yeah, sure. Was being silly and didn't expect that much enthusiasm. Oh, y'all don't know me that much in real life, but I'm so loud. I'm all over the place, like literally. Half of the videos I want to do, I'm gonna probably do them like Hoodlum Callum style. I'm probably gonna do them more like just off the cuff, instead of like, you know, I'm fine with filming them, like, and scripting them and stuff. But I feel like a lot of my thoughts come out when I'm just in conversation. So, and it's easier to, instead of having to bog it down, here's all this background, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, the thing I said earlier about Arceus, you know? Sprigatito is an amazing name, y'all tripping. Completely agreed, Sprigatito. It's perfect. I use your mixes on my streams, I hope you don't mind, says Pokedom. Well, I hope you subscribe to me. LOL, name puns! Yes, I don't mind. Just make sure that you link to the Mega Mixes and provide adequate credit. Just say it's by AlmightyArceus. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. Cool. Let's see. All right, cool. So yeah, we're talking about Gen 8, I guess, or Gen 9. Gen 9, jeez, guys. Gen 9. Can you believe that? People are saying we're gonna hit 1,000 Pokemon. I don't think so. I think we're gonna hit Pokemon 999. I think. Okay, anyways. We're definitely ending on Pokemon 999. There's no way they're revealing the 1,000th Pokemon like casually. The 1,000th Pokemon is gonna be like Victini. Like some sort of Victini special event Pokemon. And it will be the first Pokemon known for Gen 10. Like, they're not gonna waste that. I can guarantee that we're going from, what are we at, 906, 907? I actually don't know the current number. I haven't counted since Arceus. What are we at? Does anyone know? I don't know. I'm thinking we're at like 908 or something. They're gonna add like 91 new Pokemon, which is adequate. That's, I think, more than some of the previous generations. And I'm okay with that. I think 91 is appropriate. We get to 999. That'll be the last Pokemon of this generation. It'll be an event Pokemon. And then we'll have Pokemon 1,000. The 1,000th Pokemon will have a huge announcement. Maybe it'll be through Pokemon Go, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. It'll have a huge announcement. It'll be released, probably through Pokemon Go first. And then we'll get Gen 10 right after that. It'll be Pokemon Day, 3 years from now? 2025, which makes sense. That's what? Is that? Oh my god. That's like, that'll be close to their anniversary, I guess. No. 30 years? 29 years? 30 years? Close. It'll be between 29 and 30, 1995, 1996, because Japan versus localization, 1995, 1996. So it'll be their 30th. It's huge, big birthday. And they're gonna announce the 1,000th Pokemon. Like, that's they're saving that. I can promise you. Like, I don't think I need to speculate. I think that's 100% confirmed. We're gonna get Pokemon 999, and then we'll hit 1,000 in Gen 10. So patience. I know there's no way they're gonna pass that up. It's 896, but don't quote me on that. I think we broke 898 before PLA came out, didn't we? We're at 905 right now. So we're gonna get probably like 90 regular Pokemon and 4 event Pokemon. That is my prediction. You can quote me on that. I don't mind. This one, I'm like 99% confident in. So, yeah. Cherry Chinchino says there's going to be 12 generations due to the fire type starters being based on the Chinese zodiac. People are saying that might not be true. This gen might break it. But people are also saying it might be like a fire snake at the end. Honestly, it would be weird if they did that. And let me tell you why. It's got short, stout legs. It's like bassy, right? It's like Godzilla. Okay? Sorry, I realize my phone is shaking. It's like Godzilla, right? Like, that's what it is. So, I think it would be really weird if it became a snake. I think it needs to be kind of a Zilla sort of thing when it's done, you know? Like flames coming out the back. It also looks like it's gonna have a volcano because you could see the sprig at the top of its head. You know, people are saying, oh, that looks like the top of a pepper or the top of an apple, which I guess it's an apple. But it's also like an eruption from a volcano. I made like a Komodo dragon little fan like Pokemon a while back that had an erupting volcano on its back. And I always thought that would make a lot of sense, you know? Like I think I had a Pokemon called like Igniguana or something like that, like an igneous iguana. And then I think it was like Blazilla was the final evolution that I made. Not the best names, but cool designs. And since they're doing a lizard again for fire, I would like to see a Godzilla. I think that would be very cool. It would break the Zodiac thing, but I think that'd be rad. Let's see. Sure, I'm just saying it shouldn't matter that much. They're much better than bland. English names we're getting. Quaxie is better, much blander than the others. Yep. In the 9th generation, 2 floors in the level 1 gallery. Yep, okay. Street Thug JJ says, are there any more lo-fi megamixes planned for the future? Yeah, you know, sorry, I also just saw Nessa's comment, Blazilla. Yeah, kind of sounds like a marijuana brand, don't you think? Yeah, man, buy some Blazilla. Like, I'm getting Blazilla tonight. Anyways, Street Thug JJ, yes, there's a lo-fi remix every year now. That's gonna be after the Sinnoh Megamix. You can expect that. So probably May Probably May. So look forward to it very soon. That's happening, of course. Let's see. Man, imagine if we get a massive Megamix consisting of every single track in chronological order, 3 gens, 1 through 5. Pokemon Master Journey. I like that. Pokemon Journey's Megamix. Not an anime tie-in somehow. That wouldn't be too bad. I have considered compiling every single Megamix into one video, which I think would be like 30 or 40 hours at this point. It's something absurd. More than that. We have like 16 Megamixes, y'all. It's crazy. Yeah. So, Smash Mouth All-Star Megamix. Hey, April Fool's Megamix. You just thought of one. I love it. You think that this dude's using D's for T's? Just please switch it out. Do you think that the 9th generation anime will be like Journeys or will be like Indigo League? I don't know. I think Journeys kind of fell off a little bit in terms of like, are people watching it really that much? Like everybody was hype about Alola. Alola, I think, was kind of their high point for anime. I think it also is kind of a high point for the game's plots recently as well. So I hope they do something more fresh for Gen 9. I think it might bring back some of the people from Pokemon The Power of Will or whatever it is, The Power of One. What did they call it? The one that took place where Pikachu speaks and it had Marshadow in it and it was just like little vignettes. I think they're going to go back to that because that was in my Gen 8. You know, I predicted this, by the way. Me and Hybrid Hero said that Gen 8 would be in Spain and it was Gen 9 instead. But the Oricorios were on it. They were each of the next 4 games. You had Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was the Hula, the POW form Oricorio. You had Sword and Shield, which was the Pom Pom or the Pep Up Oricorio for the cheering stadiums. Da, 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 you know, the little cheer they do. And then the Sensu style, Pokemon Legends Arceus. It has the hand fans, right? And then you have Pokemon. Oh yeah, so you have the Sensu, and then you got the Flamenco, the Baile style. Oricorio, which is Gen 9, and that was the one we focused on. We were like, oh yeah, and then Tapu Bulu, like bullfighting, you know, that's a big thing in Spain. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Tapus again, to be honest. I feel like Tapu Bulu is going to be there. There's definitely going to be some sort of Tauros ring, or maybe not, because bullfighting's been really controversial in Spain. Can I be honest? I have to say, I'm really surprised that they chose to go with Spain, and do you want to know why? It's because there's massive international conflict there right now, guys. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but multiple regions in Spain want to declare independence. So I think they got around it because they were like, oh yeah, Spain, Portugal, whatever. We're just putting it, it's the Iberian Peninsula. You know, we're doing the Iberian Peninsula, that's it. Because Spain itself right now, Barcelona, which is going to be the premier city that they focus on, I think. They could do Madrid, but Barcelona's prettier. And they also showed off the Sagrada Familia building. The thing about Barcelona is it's part of the region Catalan, and Catalunya. Catalan is the language. Catalunya. And Catalunya wants independence. They don't want to be a part of Spain. They've, over the course of the past few years, have fiercely been wanting to become an independent country, and Spain isn't allowing them. And there've been like voting suppressions, multiple political criminals and prisoners. And yeah, so crazy controversies going on right now. They're still not resolved at all. So I'm curious about how a game like this will be received. I think it will be well received. It looks like it's off to a great start. I don't think most people are aware of even that Catalunya is a thing, but it is, and I know this because I went abroad and I've studied the conflict. I'm sure people in the EU are somewhat aware of it. Yeah, we still ended up being right. We predicted that. So go watch my Generation 8 will be set in Spain video and look at all the ways they teased us for Gen 9 in Spain, actually. So pretty cool. Yep. I swear if you mess up and actually type a T, lol. You think that the 9th generation will be hot or cold? Lol, that's a funny little bit. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Oh, lots of comments here. Ness says, I gotta do something for the Cinemag Mix. I'm slacking. Do it! 2 days, 5 hours, and 33 minutes would be the duration of every Mega Mix today. Oh my gosh. Wait, so that's 48, that's 53 hours and 33 minutes. 53-hour YouTube video, y'all ready? Oh my god, I don't even think my computer could render that. That's like 100 gigabytes file or something. That's ridiculous. And my computer's really good at rendering now at this point. Okay, Street Thug JJ says, I love them so much. I use them when I'm deck building for Magic the Gathering and I'm playing Old School Gen 1 and 2 on 3DS. How do you? Okay, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Oh, cool, okay. Think that the 9th generation will be hot or cold? Hot, probably. But it does snow in Spain, in case you didn't know. We don't talk about Fuecoco. What's wrong with Fuecoco? 53 hours, let's go. We don't talk about Fuecocos. Interesting. I don't really think that works that well. You know, that brings up a good point, though. This is what I thought. I actually really, I didn't expect them to stay in Europe this much. What, Galar and the Kalos and now España, whatever they're going to call it. España, probably the Spaño region or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised for it to be like the Spaño region or something along those lines. I don't think they've announced the name of the region yet, have they? I don't know. I haven't looked. But I thought it would be in Brazil or somewhere in South America. I've been waiting. My fan region that I've made is South America. And it's the perfect place to set a Pokemon game. Maybe they're waiting for Gen 10 to have it be Carnival, like celebration, like in Brazil. Because like the Amazon is perfect and there's so many different biomes. That's what I loved about Alola so much, is that it's so biodiverse. It made for so many great Pokemon introductions. I love Gen 7 Pokemon. Even the Ultra Beasts, they're great. I love them. But and I don't like the Alolan forms as much, but I do like the fact that they introduced variants there because it made sense to. And God, the rainforest would be a perfect location for variants, for new Pokemon inspiration. I follow a number of, I don't know if folks are aware of this. Hopefully you are. We have a lot of Portuguese and Brazilian fans. And so I think it would be worthwhile. There's a number of fan artists I follow who live in Brazil that create Pokemon content. They create Fakemon, they create drawings. It's really cool. And they have so many unique concepts because there's such a rich culture there. So it's a little weird to me that they're sticking so strongly to Europe. I'm hoping that with Gen 10 we'll see, Brazil or something, or India, or, at one point I thought they might go to Thailand or one of the Polynesian islands. That might be nice. I wonder if they'll do a China game. We have Hisui and Arcanine now. I don't know. I would love to know. Brazil would be wild. Somebody said it would be Italy. Nez said like somebody thought they were going to go to Latin America. Watched this video earlier. I remember the NPC was speaking Spanish, bro. I'm glad they chose Spain. Oh, hey! Yo, you're right! I forgot. I gotta watch my own videos. There was, yeah. Glad they chose Spain. I'm sure there's gonna be people being like, you were just a generation off. I already tweeted about it, so. Mexico, too. They could mess with the biomes and pyramids and stuff. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, agreed. No, Mexico would be a great choice as well. Lots of cool biomes. The pyramids, it would be great. The Mayan pyramids would be a great basis. Lots of great stuff in Latin America. I hope they hit it up soon. Okay, what else about Gen 9? What else do we want to talk about? It's open world. Very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. I just really hope that they're not facing off against Pokemon. Because the way that Pokemon catching works so well in Pokemon Legends Arceus will be so hard to go back to if every battle I have to battle and then wait for all the turns and stuff. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. So there's a comparison between Gen 8 and Pokemon Legends Arceus, in which you see the time it takes to capture one Pokemon in Sword and Shield versus the time it takes to capture Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I think it's like 30 to 1. I think it's like they captured like 30 Pokemon in the time it took to capture one in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So if they think that we're going to be okay with going back to the regular old battle system, they got another thing coming. But that being said, I am happy to go back to the old competitive battling system. I am excited for all the new Pokemon that were introduced to have new abilities. We finally get illusion-based Hisuian Zoroark, which will finally have its heyday because, God, I don't know if you guys have tried using Hisuian, like, Zoroark or anything like that in Pokemon Legends. I'm sure you have. It's so frail. It gets hit once and it's gone. And I think that's basically, like, their way of saying, yeah, we know this Pokemon kind of has, like, a broken typing and ability, like, to pair with it. It's, like, such a brilliant combination because it's immune to ghosts and fighting type moves. It's got like so many immunities. Ghost, normal, fighting, what else? I don't know, I'm probably missing a few. But it's got 3 at least, and like that's incredible already. Which means like it's like the perfect illusion user. You put up a Pokemon with a different weakness, it's not effective at all. You don't break the illusion. You get like to set up for free. God, Hisuian Zoroark is going to be crazy in Gen 9. So I'm really excited to see it in the new battle, competitive system. But I'm hoping that in roving the open world, that we'll just be able to, like, tuck and roll, catch Pokemon, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Do you think that the Gen 9 generation will have gyms? It's been confirmed. I'm pretty sure that they have gyms. Street Thug JJ, Australia region Pokemon professor could be based on Steve Irwin. That's a great idea. I love that. And Australia, yet another wonderful biodiverse region that definitely deserves its own Pokemon game. Completely agreed. Didn't want to think about the gameplay. I'm afraid of regressing to the OG Pokemon formula. Me too. But it's open world, so that's encouraging to me because they haven't made any official announcements. I know though that because they said it's open world, I think they're confidently taking that step. If they're not confident in taking that step, then Gen 9 is going to fail. I have no doubt. Because Pokemon Legends Arceus was just such a good and well-received game that if you're coming literally less than a month off from that game and saying, yeah, we're going back to the old ways, battles now take like 2 minutes to complete, shiny hunting is much more difficult, it's like, it's not as fun, Like, I don't think they have that intention either. I think if anything, they've been trying to phase in you can just automatically chuck a ball at this mechanic. Since Pokemon Go came out, I think they've slowly been introducing that. Let's Go Pokemon, Pikachu and Eevee was kind of an intro to that, right? That was the step, and they literally used the Pokemon Go format. And initially I said, oh, that's a way to get people to acclimate to the normal mainline games. But I think it was really a test for Pokemon Legends Arceus and hopefully, ultimately, Generation 9. So I'm hoping they don't do away with it. That would really suck. Do you think that Gen 9 will have a Pokedex with a Rotom thing? I hope not. It's kind of fucked up. Like, let's be honest. Like, oh my god. We have conscious Pokemon now, guys. Like, we're just actively enslaving these creatures. Like, they're cognizant. I mean, I guess it kind of sucks because, like, Alakazam has, like, a 9,000 IQ, something absurd. And yet, it's subservient somehow. It's like, Pokemon Legends Arceus only kind of explained that. I don't really know what's going on. I think there's still more lore to understand. But anyways, I don't like Rotodex that much. But that being said, if that's how Rotom was, Rotom would be in every device. Clarita Gameplays, do you think that the 9th generation will have a male or female professor? That's a really good question. I think we might have somebody based on Gouty. I think that'll be the professor. He'll be more of a quirky, kind of artsy sort of professor. I think we just had 2 female professors back to back with Sonia and then what is the older one? Juniper? Is that her name? Or is it the old one? I don't remember. This old lady professor. I actually don't remember her name. I'm sorry. But I do remember Sonia. And so we had 2. Just back to back. And then we also had Burnett Gen 7, which was great. So I think it's going to be maybe a less gendered thing, like you might have maybe a male and female. But I think Gouty would serve as a good inspiration. Jesus. I picked the craziest time of day to do this, huh? So will Gen 9 be a fusion of Galar, Wild Area, and Legends, potentially? Oh, Professor Magnolia, thank you. I hope so. I think people are saying the Isle of Armor was a precursor to what it will look like, in that it's free roving, that you have camera control everywhere, and the environments blend with the buildings. So like the town of Freezington, you just kind of walk right in and walk right out of, right? That was a test for that mechanic. People are saying it'll be that. It'll be like the Isle of Armor or Crown Tundra mixed with Pokemon Legends Arceus. And it looks like it too. The gameplay does look very similar to more so Pokemon Legends Arceus than I would say Sword and Shield. I think it looks closer to it. The interesting thing too is they're using like Pokemon Go styled avatars. I don't know if you noticed the change in the characters. The art style in the 2D is the same, but in the 3D, you literally look like one of the more human-esque Pokemon Go characters. The face structure and everything looks more like that. So I think it is going to be more based in that sort of mechanical style, the more the Pokemon Legends Arceus catching. Maybe you become the professor. That's a great idea. I mean, here's my thing. This is actually what I think about the professor. So artsy, sure, inspired by that. But they've shown the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet uniforms for each of the two. It's different in each one. So I think this will actually be the first time where the Pokemon professor isn't just like a college professor. Like, the Pokemon professor is literally going to be like your school teacher. Like, you're literally going to have a professor that you go to, professora or a professor, you know, that you're going to go to, right? And you'll be in competing schools, right? So maybe they won't do an evil team for this gen, because Gen 8, they didn't really do that. They had Team Yell, which was the stupidest team ever. I hate Team Yell with a burning passion. Dumbest team in existence. I think they're probably just going to have the opposing team be like the Scarlet School or the Violet School, right? And so your rival will come from that school, right? Your rival will come from that, and like the other schoolmates, you'll be like, you're facing up in a Pokemon battle versus this school, right? So it'll be kind of, you know, you can sort like that, I suppose. And that'll be one of the regional and game distinguishers. But your professor, the Pokemon professor, will be a professor at that school. And they will give you research tasks. They're going to bring in, I have no doubt, they're going to bring in the research tasks from Pokemon Legends Arceus, because they want the Pokedex to feel more substantial. That was the whole point, and they knocked it out of the park with Pokemon Legends Arceus. They wanted to feel more substantial because you're not going to literally be able to catch every single Pokemon that exists in every region. And they've made that clear at this point, abundantly clear. So don't expect that. There can't be a Dexit controversy anymore. It's been made clear that Pokemon knows what they're doing. And that you don't need every Pokemon in every game. You can have it in Pokemon Home. That's your national dex now. You know, that's what it is. Sorry, guys. But, that being said, I do think that you're going to be given research tasks by the Pokemon Professor. And when you're given these research tasks by the Pokemon Professor, you'll, scale up the dex to number 10, and then that'll be a remaining shiny mechanic. So once you get a perfect dex entry, their rate of shiny encounters will go up. So I think that's how they'll incorporate it. That's my thoughts right now. Let's see. What do we got in here? It threw me off. You know what? Team Yell, TCG Sport Card is amazing though. I don't play the TCG. I'm glad it's good. Team Yell was absolute trash. Absolutely. Street Thug JJ says, my favorite team is Team Skull. What's your favorite team in Pokemon? It's a tough one. Really tough. Probably Team Magma and Team Aqua. This is a tough one. I was gonna say Team Galactic. I like Cyrus a lot. The Team Galactic outfits are just so silly. I can't. But that being said, they're definitely runner-up. I love them. And Aether Foundation is another one. I do like the Aether Foundation. I love the weird mad scientist vibe they have going on. It's fun. Lusamine is one of the most complex characters in Pokemon. But I think overall, I enjoyed playing against Team Magma and Team Aqua the most. I love their unique themes. I love that they're specific to which version you get, which is something they never brought back, and I hope they do. That's why I want this whole Scarlet Violet thing. Because I love the rival team thing. That's so rad, So, yeah, I really like Team Magma, Team Aqua. They have great encounter themes and battle themes. I love the way that they fit the theme of the game really well in general, about the environment, land, sea, and sky. It would have been interesting to see like a Team Zephyr or something. I know that was a theory for a while. People thought there would be a Team Zephyr that would represent Rayquaza in Pokemon Emerald, and that never came to fruition. But But yeah, I love that evil team a lot. Hello, big fan. Thank you, Viettran. Thank you so much. Snag 'em all day, every day. What region of Pokemon will you live in if you were in Pokemon? That's a really good question. Probably Alola. I know that's kind of a cheap answer, but I'd probably live in Alola. It's got diverse biodiversity, great different biomes, good food. Malasadas are delicious, and Kahlua pork is delicious. I hope it's not like, Kahlua Embor or whatever it is in the Pokemon universe. But yeah, I've also never been to Hawaii, so maybe I'd choose Alola. I don't know. I like that region a lot. Mand JTV made a Team Sky fan team that was kind of entertaining. Cool. My fan team that I've made up, I need to do, there was a whole trend of like my Pokemon region that everybody did. Mine would be the Attorney region, probably changed the name now that we have Eternatus. But it was based on South America in general. It was shaped like South America. And the region, the evil team was called Team Gyro at the time. And it was, not really well themed. But it had some cool Pokemon. I have a really cool dex that I should whip out at some point. What do you think is the poorest region of Pokemon based in money? God, I don't know. It's an interesting question to me because I did the who runs the Pokemon government. I think generally we live in the Pokemon world is a socialist technocratic utopia. That the syndicates, the evil teams are the only vice that exists, but there is no international conflict in this era. I think all the Pokemon wars took place in the past. And there's some sort of united, Pokemon world that's has socialized medicine, and it has price-controlled products for Pokemon trainers that we've seen. There is some form of capitalism, or at least exchange of capital, because of like the mega marts that they have and stuff like that in Gen 7. But it's also seen that like that kind of stuff is frowned upon on the island. Like corporatism is frowned upon. One of them is an abandoned mega mart, right? Thrifty mega mart, because it was built over a Pokemon habitat, and the residents were like, yo, that's not cool. And then the Pokemon were like, yo, that's really not cool. We're gonna haunt your ass. And they shut it down, and then it was taken over by ghosts. Probably the ghosts of Pokemon that were killed, just so we know. Just so we're clear here. There might have been some dead little Pikachus up in there that became Mimikyus. So, yeah, just be clear on that. Some Pokemon died making that capitalism. Oh, that's funny. Hisui's the answer. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Okay, thank you. I know you're kind of trolling, but yes, you're right. God. Okay, outside of Hisui though, before we had the modernization, I don't know. Probably Johto. I would say Johto. In the originals, I think Johto is probably the poorest region. It's also more on the ancient side. It honors some of the ancient architecture. I would probably say Johto. Makes most sense. Galar? Nah, Galar is loaded, dude. They got have you seen Wyndon? God, they got money. Oh my lord. They don't have that many cities, but they have big cities, so. Okay, dear AlmightyArceus, big question. Are ghost Pokemon born dead? Not all of them. I think most of them are. I think most of them have some sort of dead origin. And the ghost type is the one that is most interconnected between humans and non-humans. It was interesting. This is actually a little piece of lore that enticed me in Pokemon Legends Arceus, because I just finished it. When you get 108 souls, spoiler alert, by the way, for those who haven't done the Spiritomb quest, so if you haven't done it, mute me for about 10 seconds. But when you do the Spiritomb quest, the 108th soul is the person that challenged you. And they're like, now, I can, hopefully that stranger forgives me, or the stranger I pranked, I played that prank on years ago, can forgive me. I don't remember the exact quote. But I think it's linked up to the whole Ghost Girl thing, in like the previous generations. I think there's a lineage of that. So I think there's there've been accounts of Pokemon and humans, instances in which they've become each other, like Kadabra, that had a Fire Red and Leaf Green Pokemon entry, which was based on Kafka and the whole, the cockroach story, the metamorphosis. You can unmute me by now if you haven't, by the way. But yeah, there's instances of that where it said it happened one morning. A kid woke up transformed into a Kadabra. And it's like an urban legend. But I think there's some truth in it. I think there are some humans that have become Pokemon. We know for a fact there are Pokemon that have become ghosts. You know, Dreepy, Dragapult, those are all dead, like, you know, Pokemon. The Kofagrigus and Runagrigus ones, those are Pokemon or people. Birdkeeper Toby thinks they're Dreepies. I think they might be people still, but I don't know. But actually, I think Runarigus is Dreepies because of the whole serpent that it has. It's trying to emulate its former forms, but it was just entombed. So it can't become a Dreepy. I think Voltorbs are captured Ghastlies that are left in a Pokeball too long. And that's also, I don't know if that's the same for Hisuian Voltorb and Electrode, because they almost make it seem like these kind of just manifested as disguises. But I think they're still Ghastly that were originally captured, and they just only recently appeared. I don't know. What do you like more, Hisuian Lilligant or Unnovan Lilligant? Easily Unnovan Lilligant. Hisuian Lilligant is stupid. Why do we need another grass fighting when the main starter is going to be grass fighting too? And they just took away the dress and made it like, I'm a little boy who loves berries and cream. Like, no, boring, boring. Be more inspired. Oh my god. Thanks, Ness. Like Fanta being ghosts or dead kids who died. Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's another one. I think Ghastly generally is like, I think those are humans. I think those are restless spirits. Because they appear in the Pokemon Tower. So I think it's implied that those are essential. That's the base form. Like, almost every ghost is a Ghastly. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. And then Gengar, you know, it's also, its name is Doppelganger, right? People say that it's the Doppelganger of Clefairy, which I think is true. But I also think it's a doppelganger of whatever the original soul was. I think it's kind of the dark version. It's kind of like how in ghost stories, people become banshees when they've been ghosts for a long time. They just lose all semblance of humanity and they just screech, right? That's what I think. What new evolution would you want to be added to the new gen? It's about time, isn't it? Man, it's about time. It's been a few generations. It hasn't been 4 generations yet, but it's been 3. I think it's about time we have a Flaion. We need like a Saurion or something, some sort of flying type evolution. We need a steel type. We need like a Lanceon. I think Lanceon is like the perfect name for a steel type. You know, make it like a knight. If you're still in Europe, there's still a chance. Lanceon should have been in Gen 8. I was hoping for evolutions, and it would have made sense to have a steel and a dragon evolution. You could have had Lanceon and Drakeon. Perfect, especially because dragons are huge themes within Galar, you know? They give us the 2 Reggies instead, so whatever. But I still think there's a chance. You still have the knight and the dragon theme that you could go for because you're in still land that's based in monarchies. You should go for it. Go for like Steeleon or Lanceon and Drakeon. Please give us a steel and dragon type evolution. Oh my god. Give me a Ghost or Bug Eevee. Also good. Beaton, Beetalon, I don't know. Ghost, what? Fanteon? Ghostion? Spookion. Spookion is great, actually. I like that. Okay. Suian Lilligant is like Serena. Which one do you like more? Unnovan Zorua or Suian Zorua? No. It's a tough call, but I probably Hisuian. I think Hisuian generally has a better type, and it looks even cooler. It looks just brutal, and it evolves into Zoroark that has just this like untamed hair. The other one has the hair tied back up. This one's just unkempt and like awesome. So cool. Really love it. All right. Any other questions? I feel like we've been doing this for a while. We're probably okay to wrap this up. But I'll just finish it off with a few more that I didn't answer because I kind of started talking about Gen 9. I gave a lot of my Gen 9 thoughts. If y'all want to know my favorite Pokemon overall, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Vaporeon! I just got that tattoo. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if I lifted it high enough. But I got this kind of gothic cool little Vaporeon on my leg. And I love it. It's my favorite Pokemon. It's fun little aquatic evolution. I love its little, fin crown thing it has. I love its little fin ears. And the tail fin is great. I love it. Just looks so cute and cool, and it's well themed. It's cool that it can turn invisible in water. That's pretty rad. So, yeah. So, Gen 9 starter final type. I tweeted about this. I think, before I just jump back to Gen 9, favorite game. Did I talk about my favorite games? I guess I said Sinnoh. But, my favorite game right now is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, that blew everything else out of the water, I think. And I'm hoping Gen 9 will do that as well. But I love Sinnoh. I loved the lore in the game. And I love the catching mechanics. And just everything about the game has been so good. It's an actually challenging game. It wasn't easy. Like, Nuzlocking this would be a challenge if I did a Nuzlocke. And I love that. That's great. And even the regular playthrough, like, I don't play that many video games. So the tucking and rolling was a little frustrating. The hardest one for me actually was the Heatran battle. I kept losing that one because I just wasn't keeping enough distance. And I just kept running into the cave, and I thought I had to throw mud balls. But I didn't really realize at the time, but there's like a lot of moments of invulnerability for it. So I wasn't doing anything. The funnest one was the Arceus fight. Ooh, that was really, really cool. And I really did like, of course, the origin form. Just all of them are so fun. Actually, it's so hard to pick because, like, God, you got, like, Giant Hisui and Avalugg, which is, like, the size of a literal glacier. So cool. You have Golden Arcanine, Royal Arcanine. Just so rad. That was so much fun. So, yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus is my favorite. So let's jump back in here. Let's see. So Gen 9 starter final type. Let's talk about this, shall we? So, we have at our disposal right here a Captain Duck, right? A duck sailor, a marinero, pato matinero, or whatever. I don't actually know how to say that. Marinero. Sorry, like a mariner. And then we have a little ghost pepper, lizard boy, fue cocodril, a little crocodile. And we have Sprigatito, my little greenweed cat. So, based on that, I think that we're going to have the following. I think we're going to have Grass Psychic. I think we're going to have Fire Ghost. And I think we're going to have a Water Fighting. I think that'll be the trio. And I've always wanted it to be balanced, where it's like the first type and the second type, interact better together. They do that kind of in Gen 4, because in Gen 4 you have Firefighting, which is effective against Steel, Water Steel, so you still have a leg up against the opposite starter. And then with Empoleon, it's Water Steel, Grass Ground. Technically it learns Ice-type moves. That's the only one where it doesn't work. But Grass Ground, of course, against Firefighting, ground type is super effective against fire type. So Empoleon gets the short end of the stick there, but they were really close to making it like a good little triad. I guess the whole thing is that it's neutral it takes neutral damage from grass types. So water steel, because steel is half effective, it takes neutral damage from grass type attacks. So that's the trade-off. I think personally that it makes sense to have a trio that really balances out perfectly. Like this. I haven't done that in a hot sec. So Fire Ghost looks like it's the new Firefighting. I legit do think it'll be a Fire Ghost type because, like, I can't really imagine. Maybe it could be a Fire Ground as well, which would be really cool. I could see that happening because it's going to be a volcano. But I think it's going to be a Fire Ghost because, as folks have pointed out, it does kind of look like a Ghost Pepper specifically. And even though Spain is not noted for their spicy food, Portugal has frango frito, so they are, but Spain doesn't use spice at all. I still do think it'll be a Fire Ghost type potentially because it's based on a chili pepper. And then I think Water Fighting, because you're going to have a Captain Duck, and I think it's way too obvious to do Water Flying, and Water Flying is also an abysmal type unless you're a Mantine. So I think Water Fighting makes a lot of sense because it's going to be like a Capitan, right? And then Sprigatito, I think, will be a Grass Psychic just to balance out the trio. And, you could make an argument about it being like, oh, it's like a weed cat, so psychedelic experience. Hey! That one has no reason at all. I don't have any justification. So yeah, that's my thoughts for final types. Oh, and thank you, Ness, for the compliment on the tap. I really do like it. Do you think that Sprigatito, Fuecoco, or Quaxley in the final type will be normal? Water normal would be pretty boring, but do we have? That's a good question, actually, because I realize that normal is one of the types that's least used. It would be interesting to have a fire normal, a water normal, and a grass normal type, but could be, you know. I don't know if that does anything for them aside from add a fighting type weakness and a ghost type immunity. That is the thing. So they would really nerf ghosts, which maybe they need right now. They have a lot of ghost types that are really strong. What's your favorite type of Pokemon and least favorite type? Favorite type probably would be Steel type. I was the Steel type gym leader. Anyone here from Discord who have been in the Pelipper Gym League, if you happen to be here, I used to run a gym league there, and I was always the Steel type gym leader. I love Steel types. Water type was my second type, so it would be Steel then Water for me. There's a lot of amazing Steel type designs, and it covers a lot of bases. You got a lot of good Steel bugs, Steel flying types, Steel dragons, you know, there's Steel ground types. Lots of great Pokemon to choose from in there. Bug is also actually a close third, I think, because you got like Volcarona up in there, and Golisopod, Araquanid, Centiskorch, you know, lots of real Frostmoth, lots of amazing, beautiful bug type Pokemon, honestly. I think my least favorite type would have to be either rock, probably rock, or normal maybe. Rock type, because a lot of designs are reductive. They're just pieces of rock. And some of them are dumb, hairy pieces of rock, like Alolan Golem. God, that's one of the worst Pokemon designs of all time. Stupid. I want to forget about it. It's got a great type. Rock Electric is so cool. It's the only one. And it's the stupidest fucking design ever. And it doesn't have Levitate, so it's 4 times weak to ground. It's like the worst Pokemon that's ever been made. But it hits hard. If you're able to get an explosion off, it has Galvanize as the ability, and that's giant. Oh my god, with electric terrain? Can you imagine? Yeah, or normal, but there's a lot of really good normal types, so I probably wouldn't rank that. I love the Porygon line, the Chansey line, Staraptor, you know, there's cool normal types, so I'd say rock type probably. Hello, JXC, glad to see you here. The coloring on its head kind of looks like a skull, could be a little Dia de los Muertos thing. That would From what I understand, does Spain celebrate? Hold on, let me see. I thought that was specific to Latin America, but I don't know. I might be dumb. Celebrate Dia de los Muertos. I don't know actually if it does. Oh yeah, I guess they do. Okay. They actually have 3 days. They have October 31st, Dia de las Brujas, Dia de las Brujas, Day of the Witches. November 1st, Dia de Todos los Santos, All Saints Day in Spain. And November 2nd, Dia de los Muertos, or Difuntos, Day of Dead. Most celebrations happen on November 1st, which has been made a national holiday. Okay, so they do, I guess. The origins do indeed come from Spain. I wasn't sure if that was a colonial thing or if that was, you know, from Spain itself. So, anyways. Cool. Okay, now I know. So, it's possible. Could be oh, and there's skull lizards. Oh, that'd be so cool. You know the skull dudes from Kong Skull Island? What if it's one of those? Oh, that would be sick. It's one of those I like that. That's a good idea. That's good thinking there. I love that. Yeah, see, I had the same confusion this. Nice choices. Back in Gen 7, I was the bug gym leader for a gym group we made on Facebook. Ended up becoming first Elite Four and added water to my combos in Elite. Very cool. Very, very fun. I love doing those sorts of little games. So, all right, y'all. I think it's time for some final questions before my big announcement, before we wrap this up today. So, if you got any questions, now's the time to ask them. Because I don't know when I'm going to do another Q&A. It's been really fun doing this. You know, when I was smaller, I was like, oh, why do people do Q&As? And now that we hit 11K, you know, this is a really entertaining little conversation. I like to talk. So, any other questions that folks have before we wrap this up and I give you my my big announcements? So let's I'll just give you all a second. I'll take a little drink of my water here. So what do you guys think about the setup for videos? Maybe not when people are skateboarding. I moved again. I'm in a different place. I haven't had time to set up my film studio yet, but I do have an entire room devoted to music making and filming now. So I do want to set up that room to be used as a set. This Raiku's probably gonna stay with me as well. So be prepared for a lot more theories coming your way. I am gonna talk a little bit more about that in a second. But yeah, I still really did like this little setup, so yeah. Let's see. Street Thug JJ says, would you want Game Freak to bring the N64 stadiums to the expansion pass? I guess. I mean, to be honest, I don't have as much nostalgia for them because I didn't own a gaming system until I was in 6th grade. Every time I played the Pokemon games before then, it was on my cousins or my friends' systems. I never owned a video game system. The first game that I owned was Pokemon Sapphire. And so I played Pokemon Stadium. I don't have as much nostalgia for it. And I personally kind of thought that if they're going to bring back Stadium, they do that before they do whatever replacement they're going to have for Pokemon Showdown. Because they're aware Pokemon Showdown exists. The devs use that actually as a way to test, whether they need to balance things better, etc. They use it. They test their generations once they're out, and they're like, okay, so that was good. This part of the meta is a little unbalanced. Let's adjust this way, right? I've always thought that they're gonna try eventually to put out some sort of Pokemon Virtual Battling Network or something. That's like a game you purchase and then you can do exactly what you do on Showdown, but with virtual mons or whatever. They're never gonna do away with you have to train them up in order to fight in the actual competitions. But I think they probably could put out a battle simulator that would be akin to that. So yeah. So I guess the answer for me is I'm kind of impartial. I don't have a particular need for them. I'm very sparing as to the games that I do buy. But I would be happy to see them in the expansion pass. I think it would be nice. Thank you for the congratulations. I too, JXC, I do love these chill videos. It was very relaxing for me. It wasn't very high effort, which is nice. My crazy life, I don't always have time. And thank you, Sundaben. I'm glad you were able to be here as well. So let's go to the announcements then. So first announcement, there will be a lot more videos coming from me. I've hired a video editor for myself. So all these videos, some of them I've been waiting for 2 years on, like the Crown Tundra, finishing up my Sword and Shield stuff. That's going to happen sooner rather than later, probably next month. I'm going to put the remaining Sword and Shield videos out. I'm going to have some collaborations coming up on Pokemon Legends Arceus. Me and Birdkeeper Toby are working on some things, and I want to really dive in on the lore because there's lots of interesting questions. Having a game like Pokemon Legends Arceus is like a great time for us to expand on theories we've had in the past and new theories as well. So look forward to a lot of theory videos. Since you guys liked these little Q&As, I'm probably going to bring them back. I'm going to do some more live streams. Not Q&As necessarily, but live streams because they're fun. And I've been wanting to live stream. That's my second announcement. Last year, I bought an Elgato Stream Deck for my Switch. I need to figure out how to use it. I need the correct hookups and stuff. But, oh, hi there. Sorry, I'm on a live stream right now.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's probably a political campaign. So anyways, I should probably wrap up. Good thing it wasn't anything important. Yeah, so live streams. Anyways, those are gonna happen. I wanna play Pokemon Legends Arceus. I wanna play Zelda Breath of the Wild. I wanna play some of the Pokemon games I haven't bought yet, like Pokemon Let's Go Arceus. Maybe Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It looks terrible though. I'm just gonna play Platinum. Like, why play the other ones? I don't know. I'm glad we got Legends Arceus, or I would have been so sad about how they did Sinnoh dirty. But regardless, we'll do a bunch of live streams. So if there's games you want me to play, let me know. Yeah. So here's the real big announcement. This is the one you've all been waiting for, hopefully. I got some albums coming out, y'all. 3 that I want to talk about on this live stream. Yes, you heard me right. 3. The first one I'm going to talk about is the one that isn't Pokemon related, because it's the one that's been pulling on my focus, and it's why you've hardly seen remixes from me, like, officially released this year. The past year and a half, yeah, year and a half, more or less. I've been working on an EP release for my alias, my in-person IRL, non-Pokemon related artist alias, They Friend. That's going to be coming out in the next 2 months. In April is the planned release. So look forward to that. It's going to have 5 tracks. It's called 5 Star. And it will be releasing soon. I'm really proud of it. It's where all of my musical effort has gone this past year. So hopefully that will show. And I hope you enjoy it. It won't be releasing on here. I'll do maybe a promo for it or a listening party. But that will be releasing on the They Friend YouTube channel, which you can go subscribe to now. If you go subscribe, actually, there's a virtual festival upload that I have there that shows 2 of the songs that are going to be on my upcoming EP release, as well as some of my prior songs that I've released through that label. So go check it out if you can. Here's the real ones, though. So the Pokemon-related ones. So I have 2 Pokemon albums coming out this year that I have planned. Lo-Fi Chillwave Volume 4, of course, is going to be coming out. We are going to be introducing some more lo-fi vibes. A few songs have been in the Mega Mix that you've heard already. But most of them, I don't think you've heard yet. There are remixes that I'm working on. There are remixes from the new games. And I'm really excited for you to hear them. So look forward to some uploads in spring of those songs. And then around the time summer begins, summer 2022, will be the release of Lo-Fi Chillwave Volume 4. So stay tuned for that. That's the first big announcement. The second big announcement is I am finally releasing an album that isn't lo-fi on the Pokemon AlmightyArceus page. And that's a big risk, actually, because the only time I've ever done that outside of lo-fi, it bombed. They got, like, no listens. And that was for the Battle Pike. That was for my favorite, Le Venimo, the Battle Pike remix that I did, which is a great song. It deserves more streams, frankly. So because of the way that streaming and Spotify works, it's all about playlisting. And because lo-fi is playlisted a lot, I lucked out and I got on some playlists there. Not the case for my other video game songs. So I'm planning on putting out a battle themes specific album called Max Revive that is going to compile the battle theme remixes that I've put out so far, as well as some new ones. And the theming is essentially the most intense and memorable battles in Pokemon. So you're going to have our Ultra Necrozma remix. You're going to have maybe one of the Elite Four themes. You'll have a Champion theme or 2. Some old cuts, actually, potentially. I might put out my Cynthia remix on that. You'll have the Calyrex theme. You're going to have... Oh, I can guarantee... I'm going to reveal this. I'm definitely remixing the Euro beat remix of the Dialga Palkia theme from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, how could you not? So there's going to be a remix of that. And I'm going to put out that album probably close to the end of this year. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up very soon, very shortly. I'm really excited to be doing that release. I've wanted to for a while. There may be a 4th album coming out. I don't want to work that hard. But I want to do an original lo-fi album as well, and I would release that through AlmightyArceus as well, rather than through They Friend. So you might get 2 lo-fi vibe track albums this year, depending on what I do. So, Lo-Fi Chillwave Volume 4 coming out summer 2022, and Max Revive, the Pokemon battle-themed album, coming out at the end of this year, probably November or December 2022. So, stay tuned for that. Aside from that, that's all I got for today. So, thank you so much for tuning in. This was tons of fun. This will be uploaded as an official 11K celebration. So, thank you so much again to everybody who's subscribed. Really do appreciate all the love and care that y'all have put into the projects. If you're a collaborator, as subscribers, I really do appreciate your engagement and just being a part of the community here, the Megamix community, and as part of the AlmightyArceus original ones, I'll term you guys. Hopefully we keep growing. This is kind of a casual thing, like I said, for me, but I got a lot of stuff planned for this year. I think I have the free time to follow through. And now that I have an editor, it should be easier, because once I film it, I'm just going to send it over to the dude and be like, all right, make a video out of this, please. So, yeah, thank you all so much. I'm going to wrap up the live stream now, so take care, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and thanks for tuning in.